This next speaker loves to irritate progressives. He does it really well. But before we do that, you guys will indulge me for 1 second, won't you? Just 1 second. This gentleman right next to me is my son, Matthew. And for those of you who've seen me or have seen Matthew out and about, because Matt comes with me to most of these events, freely he comes. So he still wants to hang with Dad. I appreciate that. Most of you have known Matt since he was about 6 years old, 6 or 7 years old. He's been coming to these types of rallies. And one day somebody asked me, how did you get such a fine young man as a son? And I would love to take all the credit myself. I would really love to do that. But fortunately, he was raised by all of you. Hanging around with people such as yourself who work hard every single day, who take care of their family, who ask nothing for the government, you've instilled upon him a spirit that I couldn't have done by myself. This young man is in the senior year of high school and is currently looking at Norwich Academy. And because of you, he would like to serve his country. And I would like you to give yourselves and I appreciate that round of applause. Don't give him a big head. But I'd like you guys to give yourselves, a round of applause for what you've done to help me raise a fine, great boy in Matt. Good job, guys. Thank you very much. So the next guy, as I said, likes to irritate progressives. He does it so well with his gang. I shouldn't call him a gang. His merry band of men called the Granite Grok. By day, he's a software engineer. By night, he's irritating progressives, and he does it great. He's always there. And that's what he put on. These are little bio sheets that they handed me. I'm just reading them today, and he's got irritate progressive like 5 times. But you know, what makes a man is his family. That's what makes a man. A great man has a great family. And this next individual has a wonderful family. His wife, Debbie, who is over behind this tent. He also has 2 sons, 2 combat veteran sons, one who served in the Marines and one who served in the 101st Airborne. He is the premier, along with his team, New Hampshire blogger and probably national blogger. They know all about him across this country because he likes to irritate progressives. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for my friend SkipMurphy.
Thank you very much, Jeff. By the way, at any time you can return the New Hampshire Constitution you have in your hands because it's mine. You left yours at home.
On my cold dead hands.
Out of his cold dead hands, he says. We can get more. Well, when you start to get deep into the list of speakers, you find that some of your speaking points get kind of tromped on. So I'm going to kind of wing this a little bit. And I will say that too often we hear progressives, see, that you get to jab them a little bit. I'm from government. I'm here to help you. In fact, we love you at government. In fact, just to make sure that we know that you heard you, I want you to take these forms and you need to sign them here and initialize them. And we'll put them into our gun registry. That you heard us. Not a gun registry. No, unfortunately, that is what a lot of progressives wish to do. They wish to put us in a box. They believe that government is not here to help, but it treats us like small children. In fact, Chris Roberts, New Hampshire State Representative from Keene, uttered this from the floor of the House of Reps a year or so ago. Trust me, this will get your blood boiling. Government has to protect us from our own stupidity. That, to him, is the proper role of government. The progressive model says and affirms that life is too complex and too technical for us to make our own decisions at any time.
Tyranny.
It is tyranny. Absolutely. Freedom. A brief definition of freedom is how many choices can you make? Unaided, and unfettered. Progressives say, we need to make the major decisions for you because life's too difficult. That is tyranny. Live free. And Jeff, I'm appalled at you. Where'd he go? He's trying to hide. He keeps forgetting the last part. Live free.
Not the worst of evil.
That is right. Death is not the worst of evils. Progressives don't like our state motto because it's too harsh. It's too individualistic. It brings up freedom. Let me give you another statement, another rally cry I want you to learn. And I remember saying this 4 years ago when the Tea Party first started in its activities. The bigger the government, the smaller the citizen. The bigger the government, the smaller the citizen. The bigger the government, the smaller the citizen. And that's what progressives want. Oh, they'll deny it. They'll all say, we're all in this together. We are a community. We are all equal at the lowest common denominator.
Sam Colt made men equal.
Now, we've already heard from Representative Dumaine about Joe Biden's little outburst about the shotgun. And I do agree with the young lady who has the sign up. There she is. I'm smarter than Joe Biden. I will not repeat the story, but I do think it's rather amusing that the Vice President of the United States tells his wife, a doctorate in education, go shoot the shotgun off your deck, which is a felony, and his son, Beau, the Attorney General, has to prosecute them. You can't make this stuff up. As Jeff said, I am blessed to have a number of writers at Granite Rock. We call ourselves Grocksters. And one of them, Scott Morales, who is here, who's our newest member, put up a post last night, or yesterday, gun control has racist roots. Wait, what? And it was a bunch of black conservatives, many of them reverends, who had things to say about guns, constitutions, and such. And he put up a number of the quotes, but the last person there that really caught me was Reverend William Owens, founder of God, Guns, and Constitution. And to me, that was the best part, and given that everybody else has stomped on my speech today, I will read this to you. This administration is far from the truth. The agenda is becoming more and more obvious to all that it's a distraction. It is a reason, an excuse to carry out an ideology that is more evident every day, every week that goes by, that it is anti-American.
Hear, hear.
And when you touch the Second Amendment, you can't become more anti-American because America would not be her without her guns, and guns would not be necessary without her God. We call upon Americans, both black, white, Hispanic, Republicans, Democrats, Independents, and even those who are not of our faith, to agree upon this. Without God, without guns, without the Constitution, America's end will come with haste.
Hear, hear.
All of what he said is true. Read that last paragraph. By the way, this is from a post I put up last night after reading it. If you forget it, go to graniterock.com. In essence, that is what the progressives are doing now to get to their last and best hope for their ideology, which is the progressive administrative state, which has nothing to do with democracy. It is a state in which technocrats and highly educated people, I've never understood that, by the way, why people in government are so much smarter than me. They put their pants on the same way. Yes. But we see the onslaught of tyranny. They are trying to take our Constitution away from us. We see Obama with the First Amendment. Instead of saying the free expression of religion, he is wont to say the freedom to worship. In other words, he's trying to put God in a box, the four walls of your church, synagogue, or wherever you happen to worship. And once you go in, you have freedom, and when you come out to his religion, a secular humanism based on progressive ideals. You are to remain quiet Otherwise, the thought police will come and see you. We are all here because of the Second Amendment. And we know what Joe Biden said. You don't need that. You don't need that AR. You don't need those high calibers. And we hear this all the time. That is, when you know that you are talking to a progressive when they first say, I don't understand why anybody wants this. You don't need that. Freedom has nothing to do with what somebody thinks your need is. And when they say that to you, just get that scary glint in your eye and start talking back. But that's not all. In Washington State, they tried to slip by in an anti-gun bill that you had to be responsible for securing your gun while you were at home. I don't think many people here would disagree with that. It's the next part that worries me. It's the next part where an elected official would even think of saying, let's push the boundaries and we'll let the courts catch me if I'm anti-constitutional. The law would read that the county sheriff once a year would be able to enter your home without knocking, without a warrant, to make sure that you have secured your gun. So not only are they after the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, now they're coming after the Fourth and the Fifth, because they're also going against the 14th, which is equality before the law. And just because you have a gun, they are already saying you are guilty. We stand here today to say we are a free people, that our rights come not from government, as progressives would like, but from our Creator, as defined in our Declaration of Independence. Live free. The bigger the government, the bigger the government. So what shall we do to government? We will shrink the government. We will force them back into the constitutional bonds which the genius of our founders said that was necessary. Why? It is not for the common good that government stands for. It is for the protection of individual liberties and freedoms. I thank you all for coming out on a cold, wintry day. .223 Day of Resistance. My name is Skip Murphy. Come read us at graniterock.com. Thank you. I want my Constitution back.
I'll give it back in a minute. I gotta read a few more things. Yeah, right. Hey, you know, because we say things here, and you know some of the things that we say here will be misinterpreted. That's all right. They cut it up any way they want. I've shown up on Democratic commercials before. What the hell? So I'll say it now. My Jack Russell's smarter than Joe Biden.
Croc TV.